Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our first episode of the Legend of the Seas podcast. I got myself Agent Murden and Trizzle here. Trizzle, say hi.
No.
Yes.
So, losers.
Tell us hello about yourself.
I am more of a casual gamer, I'm not too serious. We're here for the funs and the jokes and the memes. But yeah. Parker's more serious.
Well, okay then. And I'm Agent Murden. You see me and Trizzle play a lot on Twitch. And at YouTube, you can find us on pretty much any social media platform. You ready to move into the news, Travis?
I suppose so.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, so our first bit of news is the Ashen Winds update that just came out this past Wednesday.
Sucks.
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to talk about in the update is the new Ashen Lords. What are your opinions on it? Thoughts?
I haven't personally gotten a chance to fight any of them yet, but I'll be honest, they were more entertaining to watch other people fight them versus me fight them, so they don't seem like they're fun at all to fight. It's not, to me, it's not a great addition to the game.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's just kind of underwhelming. I think I'm using the right word for that. Like, we come off with like two really big updates, I would say, with what was it, April's update, which was the Ships of Fortune. You get the emissary stuff that completely like overhauled the whole like Sea of Thieves system in Adventure, basically, and pretty much reinvigorated fighting and PvP. It's really like helped that a lot.
For a little bit.
For a little bit. Not that many people do emissaries, but when they do, it's fun. And then we have the last month's update with the skeleton fleets, and that was really cool. I think that was a better world event.
Fleets.
See, for me, I feel like it's just this update's just more of the same. Like, we already had the bosses at the Fort of the Dam, just regular forts, and like some of the tall tales. Even though this one has new abilities, it just wasn't enjoyable.
So to me, like, they're trying to go off of like the tall tale stuff, and I get that that's cool, but like they're adding nothing really new to the game. Like, the bosses are borderline the same, other than okay, they got some cool new abilities, but that's it. There's nothing else special about it other than I get a skull that's a flamethrower.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's not really that exciting. I get it. Like, how much can you actually do playing a pirate game where you're just sailing around with a sword and a gun, and how much could be actually be fighting? But they could add to me some more interesting encounters than just let me Ashen Lords, or I like the Ghost Fleet. The Ghost Fleet's cool, so I'm not going to hate on the Ghost Fleet, but I think this is a pretty this fell pretty short compared to the Ghost Fleet, because it's just, to me, it's just not that great of an addition to content.
Yeah, and also there's like, in the past couple updates, we've had like little things that have also made it better. Like, last update, we got the new shanties. That was great. I think you and me have probably played 1812 a billion times now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like the game needs more bug fixing right now than new content. The amount of lagging around that we experienced in our last session, where like people were T-posing up ladders, and let's see, what was another one? Oh, chain shots hitting masts and not knocking them down. That's always a fun one.
Yeah, that's been a big problem in the game.
But like stuff like that, like that's some stuff that they need to like focus on right now instead of trying to dump new content out. And if they're gonna dump new content, I feel like right now they should do something that's not gonna break the game, like maybe some new aesthetic stuff, because a lot of the stuff's been in the game since. I mean, I know you've seen more of the inventory, the shop stuff than I have, but still, like, I started playing like a few months ago, and there's nothing really new in any of the shops. So there's, what am I spending all the money I have on? Absolutely nothing. I've got like 4 million gold, and I've got nothing to spend it on.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest problem with the encounters because what's the main reason you want to do an encounter? It's not for accommodation, even though like a lot of times that's why we're still doing it. It's you're trying to get money. That's what being a pirate's about. It's trying to steal money, make money, take all the gold. But
Yeah.
there's no value to that gold if there's nothing to spend it on, nothing valuable to spend it on. Because I don't need the same variation of a figurehead or a sail for the umpteenth time. We just need something new.
What do you think that new thing should be?
So one thing I would love to see is like little private islands. So like you could have like a little house, and you could have stuff that you buy for it and stuff that you can unlock for it. So say you take down the shrouded ghost, you can have it hanging in your house. They need to
It's
add,
like your own little pirate hideout.
yeah, and I think it'd be really cool for that is if you could like put a setting on that instead of starting the game like right into adventure, like right at any outpost, you could start it at your place, and then there you could choose what your cruise type's gonna be, and then you could sail into the server. I don't know if that's even possible, but I kind of imagine something like the maiden voyage, but instead of going to the main screen, you just go straight into a lobby.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. That'd be pretty cool. And it's like if they didn't make it where it was game breaking, like you could sail in there with a bunch of loot, like that'd be kind of messed up. Like being able to do that, but like being able to go in there and customize your ship without somebody coming and messing with you, or it's just like it adds a level of, I guess, personality to the game where players can express themselves more.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be kind of lacking, like especially like because we've talked about it, like it's something minor, but I think it would be cool if we could name our ships, or customize our own flag to put on our ship or our own sails. There's like missing like a whole level of creativity and personality that the game could have that it doesn't.
Yeah, like that instead of the house that I got, or in addition to it, we could have cosmetics for inside, like the captain's quarters of every ship. Because even though you could say the sloop doesn't really have a captain's quarters, it still has that little area like where the map table and stuff is. You could have decorations in there that you unlock. It wouldn't be like the biggest thing, and it would probably get old after a while, and then something new would have to come. But it would definitely help.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. New content wise, like I'm kind of at a loss other than that, like because it's kind of hard coming up with new things for a pirate themed game. I mean, because how much can you really add to where you're not stretching into like something that's completely out of the era? But I mean, I feel like there's a fair bit more they could potentially do, but I'm at a loss for what it might be at this point because they just keep kind of just throwing things up in there just to try and keep the game interesting instead of trying to actually think of something different.
Yeah, and I don't want it to come off the wrong way. I think the people at Rare that are making the game are great, and I think they have a lot of creativity. But some like this most recent Ashen Lords is basically just a reskin with a few new abilities of like stuff we've already had.
Yeah, and honestly, like I feel like because I don't know if the Tall Tale like left off anywhere to like kept continuing. Did it continue after the last time we played?
So I'm gonna talk.
The Tall Tale?
I have it set for like when we're gonna talk later on in the podcast, but Flameheart's like storyline since the Seabound Soul, I'm pretty sure it's called, all the way till now. Instead of doing Tall Tales, they're focusing on world events, which for replayability is nice, but I don't know. I don't know if I kind of like the Tall Tale aspect that they were going with, like the platformer type thing. That was fun doing that.
Yeah, I would have, like personally, I would have rather than kept the Ashen Lord thing in like that Tall Tale scene, just because like this is just kind of another world event that just takes up space that I personally don't feel like I'm ever gonna want to do.
Yeah.
How much pain in the ass it seems, because it's just it's a cool concept. Like I like the concept of like the thing having new abilities and like all the loot and stuff that you get from it, which I don't even think is really that much at all. But like
Yeah,
the
when I
only
did
cool
it, there
thing
was like
you get out of it,
nothing.
yeah, the only cool thing it seems like you get out of it is a skull that you can use as a flamethrower. Uh, but that's about it. Like that's like you do that just so you can get the meme weapon, and then you can go troll people. That's like the whole point of that to me. And like you go through all that trouble just to get that, and then that's it. There's nothing. There's nothing. You don't get anything extremely special out of doing this event, other than getting this skull that breathes fire.
Yeah. The way you just said that kind of makes me think this update really seems like designed for the big streamers. And we'll talk about it later with custom servers, but with this, like, who's gonna really use the skull as a flamethrower to go up on other people's ships and like light their ship on fire? No one. Why would they go through all that effort when they could just use a firebomb? I mean, I'm sure it does a little bit more damage and stuff probably, but really this is just gonna be for content like clickbait stuff like, oh look, took down an entire ship solo with
Flamethrower skull
flamethrower.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's just the content. It's people like. I mean, I'm sure we would eventually try it at some point, but like,
Oh yeah,
I
because
mean,
we need something to do.
yeah, any player, I mean, would probably try to do it, but there's no other value to it other than, yeah, you get a fair decent amount of money, I'm sure, from it. Maybe get an accommodation for not using it and turning it in, but other than that, you get a fancy skull that breathes fire. That's it. That's all you get out of this whole.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing else special about it.
And let's talk about the rewards that you get for this, because if you do all the accommodations, which are gonna take hours, it will take a long time, even if you're on a full galleon crew. You got just like a new sail, which is it's okay. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Flameheart one we just got last update, so it's nothing really that special. It almost looks like an identical clone, just with a new icon. And then you got like, all these tattoos, which I don't know about you, but for me, I wear a jacket or a shirt like every time I'm playing. I rarely ever use like shirtless, where you can see tattoos.
Yeah, I don't ever really use the tattoos either. I mean, it's just kind of an aesthetic that I don't really particularly care for. I like my Admiral jacket and my own little custom look, which is what I usually roll with, unless we're sneaking around. But there's like tattoos aren't really an aesthetic thing that I look for in the game. I more look to try and see, oh, there's a cool new jacket or something. But
Yeah.
there wasn't anything super exciting other than some sales, and that was about it. And I wasn't exactly particularly thrilled to see the sales, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like what I would like to see Rare focus on, at least like for say 1 month update, there's no like big catchy thing like Ashen Winds, Skeleton Lords have entered the thing. I'd rather smaller updates, like just a bunch of them. So like fix a lot of the bugs, like the chain shots and stuff like that. But also add things like maybe we could have a gambling system, which I'm sure is easier said than done to add. But like, wouldn't it be great if you could like meet another crew, and then you're like, hey, y'all want to just go like play a game of chess, or maybe they have their own game like pirate cards or something. Like maybe they could make like how there's that Star Wars game in the Millennium Falcon where they're playing that thing. See if these could make their own type of game that only people in the community get, and it could be like a whole like own thing, I guess, if that makes any sense.
I get what you're saying. Like, you want another system to like be able to throw your money into, other than just having it build up in the bank the whole time. Like, you'd rather spend money on like a mini game versus having it build up. And I don't buy that many accessories. I don't buy much aesthetic stuff in the game. And my money just builds up. It's been building up since I started playing, pretty much. So like having that option, just kind of like, if we're just trying to kill some time, like that's something you could do, and you could even have that on the ship if you wanted to. So like, to me, that would be something. It would be minor. Yeah, maybe it's not something the game needs, but like it's something else for people to put their money into. Because like, I know some of like the big streamers, like when you see them cashing stuff in and you see how much money they have, like one guy I saw had like over 10 million gold. He's not doing anything with that money. Not that he could go play a game, a mini game. He'd rather go get the chest of legends or something. But he'd rather. But it's for other people who'd rather just jump into the game and like, oh, and we got some time to kill. Let's do this, play some cards or something. I don't know, because like I don't know if you've ever played Red Dead Redemption, but they've got
Yeah.
like a whole bunch of game. They have like a huge gambling system in that game, like cards and I don't know what the knife one is, where it's like I don't know what that's called, but
Yeah.
it's like got like a whole gambling system that Sea of Thieves, it's a pirate game. I mean, you've got drinking for crying out loud. How much worse could you get for putting freaking gambling in the game?
Yeah, you
It's
could
not
have a
even like,
drinking games in the game. It would be fun.
yeah, like you have alcohol in the game already. Are you kidding me? You can't put a gambling system in the game. It's like you're not betting real money. You're betting fake money. So what's the point? Why not just put that in there? Throw that in there. Like other than the pirate hideout and Duke and the Athena guy, like the tavern serves literally no other purpose. That's it.
Yeah, and I feel like if that were to come, it would be a great addition to like the like pirate hideouts to give you a reason to go there. Because then you could just say, "Hey, y'all want to go there? We can just hang out for a bit." Because when I think of Sea of Thieves, I think of it more as like a world to hang out in, rather than a, "Ooh, let me try to grind and get some money." I'm just not that kind of player. I'd rather just kind of hang out. If I see a ship, go attack it, or make friends. Who knows?
Yeah. Yes. I mean that's my thoughts on that because like I have nothing to spend my money on, so you know.
Yeah, we kind of went off on a tangent there, but I think we made some good points
It,
about
fall,
it.
it falls in line with it. I don't know, in a sense, in my opinion, because it's going off the updates and how
Yeah,
some of the stuff that they're doing isn't exactly spectacular. So,
I mean
uh,
it. Okay, one thing I will say, the Flameheart event from last month's update with the Ghost Fleet. I'm not a big fan of like the voice acting in it, where it's just like giving insult after insult.
it just like shits on you the whole time.
Yeah, like so the Ashen Lords do the same thing. There's like a lot of variety in their voiceover, and like the voice thing sounds really good, like something you'd hear like in a Pixar movie kind of thing. That like the amount of like talent, I guess. That's like one
Yeah.
thing that stood out to me in the whole thing.
I mean, like when we did it the first time I did it with you, and the game called us out for both being Pirate Legends.
That was
I
cool.
thought that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat. I wasn't expecting that to happen, so they got my props on that one. Like the game, and I'm assuming the game recognized us as being Pirate Legends, our ranks at least,
Yeah,
and it was something that was automatically done because of that. So kudos on them for that because I thought that was pretty cool.
I
But
love little
like
things like that.
I thought it was neat, and I liked the Ghost Fleet. I think it was so. I think that was a worthwhile update. Like that was something different for a change, where it was you had the skeleton fleets, which are a hassle, and then you had which are still fun to do because me and you have done them before, and then the Ghost Fleet, which was something completely. It was same but different at the same time, and
They made it enough different. Like one, it looked visually different, which like yeah, the Ashen Lords are visually different from others, but also what they did with the Ghost Fleets compared to like the Skeleton Fleets is they changed the way you interact with it. So it's only 3 times the hit. They can drop kegs behind them. If you hit one of them, your ship like could basically completely destroys almost. Um, Stuff like that makes it a lot more different. And there's just a huge variety of them. When we do the skeleton fleets, it's like they each spawn up at different times.
mhm, yeah,
It's more of waves rather than like. I feel like when I'm doing the ghost fleets, I'm actually entering a huge like armada of
yeah.
ships.
Yeah, it's not just like here's a ship here, here's a ship there. I mean, I get why they did it with the skeleton fleet because the skeleton fleet can be hard. But like,
Yeah,
the one thing I hate is when you do it, your stuff starts the loot starts to sink before the next wave even. You by the time you beat the first wave and you start trying to get the loot up, the second wave's already starting, so you have to just go. Like you don't get the loot. Like me and you, when we've done it, we've had the one rowboat, and then one of us sails around and shoots at the ships, and the other one puts the stuff on the rowboat. That only works sometimes, and like maybe like they could like do something about that to where it was a little more easier. You know, it was a bit easier to get the loot out of that. But like other than that, like the events are completely different, and to an extent. But like this one was like borderline, like I can't, like the people we played with, like, you know, we went after tonight, and they were there for I don't even know how long. They were there forever doing that, and it was three of them against. I don't even know how the event really works. I guess it's waves, or does the boss just spawn?
So the way it works is, um, you basically see some skeletons, and he's like in like his own little like pod. It looks like an alien pod kind of thing. And when you come up on it, it explodes, and then the Ashen Lord's standing there, and he just starts fighting you, and basically just trash talking you while he throws things. One thing that I don't think I mentioned yet, what really aggravated me about the Ashen Lords, there's no real good way to fight them other than having a bunch of stronghold kegs, because with other skeleton lords or whatever, you could just use like your cannons, which is pretty boring to be, I will say. So I'm happy they added like the whole storm cloud thing to kind of get away from that.
Yeah.
But there's problems with like when I'm trying to sail on the ship, he was literally throwing like fire bombs. Like imagine a fire bomb mixed with a blunder bomb. So like it does blunder bomb damage, but it also has fire on it. He was throwing that across the island at me, like while I'm in my ship. And like he was landing inside of it. Like I was getting fire at the bottom of the ship and everything. So like I couldn't really fight him that way. So I tried to use the cannons. I tried to just like keep sword lunging past him. And at the same time I'm fighting off all these waves of skeletons. And it's just not it's overwhelming, and I do want something that's a challenge, but I want something that's like I can have a strategy going into it, like if I do X, Y, and Z, I'll win. Rather than just me like having to go load up a bunch of kegs, hope my ship doesn't explode from the fire breathing down from the sky, kind of thing.
Yeah, because it was like going through the Devil's Roar, and like when the volcanoes start erupting, like you can't swim in the water. They've got like I guess there's like 4 or 5 different lords, and they all have different abilities.
No, from what I've seen, they all have the same.
Yeah. Okay, so they got all of them have got that shroud, and all the other they all have like they can call down like the meteors from the sky and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, it's a little different, I guess, but like some of those abilities are like super overpowered, and like those guys that we fought tonight, they had like all the kegs, and they were trying to like unload all the kegs and take them over to this guy and try and blow him up with them. And I'm just like, this guy seems like he's more of a pain to kill than
worth.
Yeah, especially so the amount of loot you get from the whole thing. Like it just didn't seem worth it to me. Like even try and do it. Like doing a fort gives me more loot, probably more value than doing this Ashen Lord event.
Yeah, and I promise you could do it like half the time, maybe even less.
Oh yeah, no, it would definitely take us half the time. As long as those guys were there, it maybe takes us, 30 minutes or so to maybe do a fort.
Yeah.
And completely be done. And depending on how the waves go, those guys were there for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and there were 3 of them fighting it. So to me, like, maybe dial back on it a little bit, especially since the amount of loot you get from it, you don't get much from it at all. Like, even in the trailer, when I watched the trailer, there was hardly any loot that you got from it. The big highlight was fire breathing skull. And
yeah.
that's it. And I don't even think you get that much from it. I think you maybe get a couple of thousand, maybe.
Yeah, before we move on, let me tell you about the loot. I was very aggravated when I saw it, because it took me like 2 hours to do, and in that amount of time I had someone come over and I had to fight them off, but still 2 hours to do this one event. And the loot I got would be like on par with like something I get from like a basic voyage in the Devil's Roar. Like you get like one Ashen Captain's chest, a couple skulls, maybe a crate or 2, and then you get the big flamethrower scroll, which
Yeah.
it kind of was lame. And then also it doesn't all spawn together; they all spawn like very far apart from each other on the island. So like, I thought I was missing something. I'm like, yo, where's the actual loot at? And there was just nothing there. But I think we've talked about this a lot. What were we about to say?
We can move on. Nothing. That's good.
Alright. Well, next thing was they removed the ability to shoot through walls, which some people call wall banging. What are your thoughts on this?
I'm okay with it. I can't tell you how many times I've died from being behind something and then getting shot through it, and that was kind of annoying. Like in some games, yeah, I get it, but like as quickly as people like double gun in this game, like they want 1-2 done, you're done, and you can be shot through a wall, like a barrel or a wall, and be dead. So that was kind of annoying for me. So I'm kind of happy they fixed that.
Yeah, I would love to see them like buff up the sword a bit, because I feel like double gunning and stuff has just gone too much in the game. Like the blunderbuss is just, I feel like, overpowered. I know that's what you usually use. I don't know. To me, it's just too much. And then I've heard a lot of people saying that they are upset about this, and that this was actually a feature in the game. But in my opinion, if like most of the people in the community don't know about it, then it's not a feature; it's an exploit. Because I had no idea about it until I heard the little news update from Joe Neat. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but from Rare when they said it that they were fixing it. I don't think it should have been in the game in the first place too, but
yeah, because it's like, it's a glitch. It's something that people abuse, and we've played against people that have done it. Like to me, when I first started playing, like I thought I took double gunning as, okay, I'm gonna carry this gun and this gun, not that, oh, I'm gonna shoot this one and I can flick, but I can scroll my mouse wheel, or I can hit a button on my controller and switch to another gun like that, and then fire off another shot, and boom, the person I'm fighting is dead. Like to me that's ridiculous. That's insane. Like and it's all hip fire. They're not even aiming down sight, so the fact that they're hip fire is like dead on accurate every time. When they do that most of the time, it's insane. It's ridiculous.
This reminds me a lot of, if you remember, in the early days of Fortnite, there was people that used to double gun with the pump shotgun.
Yeah, I remember.
So what they did to fix that was they put a delay in the time from switching between weapons. What if they added that to this? So if you use a sword, it's instant switch. If you're using two guns, then there's like a bit of delay that you have to wait. I feel like that would definitely make it a lot more fair. Because if I'm like swimming in the water, I can't even eat food before you've already shot me with a sniper and a pistol quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because it's insane. Because that's exactly what they need to do, is put a delay in the switching, the weapon switching.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even see. I mean, they're not saying that there aren't, but I haven't seen too many streamers actually do that. Because to me, I feel like they probably think it's something that shouldn't even be on there. But I'm not saying that there aren't streamers that do it, that don't do it. There probably are, but the few that I do watch, they don't do. I've never seen them do anything like that recently, at least.
It's a bit taboo. I feel like it's like the game is really a pirate game. So you think of pirates, you think of swords, you think of maybe like the pistol or something like that. You don't really think of people coming in with a shotgun, a sniper, and just like boom boom on you, kind of thing.
Yeah, just doing a shot like almost simultaneously with both weapons, and then you get your kill. I mean, I'm cool with people using two guns, but like that to me is like, there's no way somebody would be able to like pull their gun out like that, like shoot one and then automatically, oh, here's the other gun in my hand. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah,
so either they need to like put a delay into the double gunning, or they need to make a way for you to shield yourself from it. Like if I could use a sword to block bullets, like I'm trying to think of a movie that did that. Like if I could be like Deadpool if he actually got it right, You know that scene I'm talking about where he's just like
Yeah,
wiping the
but
swords?
they did it in the original X-Men movie.
Yeah, I think it was a callback to that, right?
Yeah, it was a callback to that, and he wasn't able to do it.
That was really fun. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, what if you like block it with a sword? Maybe not block every shot, but like if you timed it right. Like, I think what would be really cool is if you played Jedi Fallen Order. Have you played that game yet?
Yeah, I played it.
So if maybe like how they have the lightsaber combos, maybe you could like teach yourself how to use like different sword combos, and like one of them could be like if you block at the right time, you can stop a bullet, or maybe like lessen the damage from it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I get what your beef is with the blunder. Like I know why you don't like the blunder, and I know why I like the blunder. But like to me, like it doesn't like the inaccuracy with it is just insane. Like with I shouldn't say the inaccuracy, the consistency with how it shoots. Like I could be standing reasonably far away from someone, shoot at them with the blunder and maybe get a few hits, but like I would deal less than a quarter bit of damage, and then they could shoot me from that same distance and somehow I'm instantly dead. Like there's no consistency. So I mean, I get why you want the blunder also like nerfed, but like I feel like the accuracy of it, like the consistency of how it shoots, should be fixed to where it's like more of a consistent spacing than three shots went over this way and that's enough to kill you somehow, or like because like all those shots have to land in order to kill you instantly. So because that's each individual pellet does 10 damage, and I think there's like 10 pellets or something. I think that's how the damage works. And
Yeah, I think so.
and like somehow that person could land every single one of those pellets on me, standing reasonably far away from me, and I could do the same thing to them and I wouldn't kill them. You know, that's something they could look into, because like games like Rust had that problem uh, with their shotguns for a while, and then they fixed it. I can't remember what they did to fix it though. I think they adjusted it to how the bullets spread.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, double gunning's cancer. Don't do it, please.
Yeah, I think we talked enough about it. I think our point kind of got clear. I would like to see that updated in the future, but it's gonna always take work. Because even Fortnite, it's been like 3-4 years it's been out. I don't even know at this point. They're still having to deal with issues of balancing weapons and stuff. It'll be an endless cycle. Let's move on to the next one. So we got the last big thing that got updated this month was the custom servers, which are only available to Sea of Thieves partners, which is pretty much anyone with 50 streamers or more.
Lame.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, but at the same time, you gotta beta test these things. You don't want to release to the general public yet.
They said they were making you pay for them too when they did release them, didn't they?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be similar to how Minecraft has their realms type of thing. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. One cool thing I saw, I'm pretty sure the current server size for like a regular adventure mode is like 16 people. I feel like that they might have bumped that, but I remember when the game first came out, I'm pretty sure that's what they said. In the new one, in the custom servers, you can choose the crew sizes. So you have 6 slots basically, and you can choose each of them to be a sloop, brig, or galleon. So you could have a galleon, which is 4 people, in all 6 of those slots, and have 24 people in one server together, which could be really fun. That's pretty much it. We'll keep an eye on custom servers for a while.
I'm interested, but not so much if I can't use them.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they did like maybe a free trial thing. I don't know what I would use it for. Maybe if our channel grows a lot, I would love to like buy it for a bit and then do events with everyone that watches us. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, Totally.
Yeah, I'll say it now since this is going to go on YouTube in a little bit. If you have any ideas for custom servers, leave it in the comments below. Um, Now let's talk about the upcoming events. So Gold Rush is being continued. That's been a while since, I believe, last update with the Flameheart. And then now they're adding Skull Sweep, which every Wednesday, all day, you can get like bonus rewards on any Order Soul stuff. So really, that's when you want to do the Ashen Lords, if you're going to do them.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about the special event. Now, I don't think you can see it, but it's it looks like an eagle with a shield. You remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What do you think this event could be? Because all they said is wait till August 4th. So at the current day we're recording, it's August 2nd. So we should figure out in 2 days. They're celebrating the rare milestone, so I'm guessing that's the amount of players they got in from Steam and Windows and Xbox all combined. I think they hit 15 million. Any thoughts on this event?
I don't know. My best bet, maybe they're going to introduce a new faction. Maybe there's more of like a military style faction, because that's the kind of vibe I get from that.
Yeah.
More of a naval power versus a pirate. Maybe they'll add something in there to where, like, I don't know, maybe they'll add some kind of bounty thing. So, like, if there's like one particular group of players like us, for example, that have been going around harassing crews, and maybe you get put on a bulletin board and they can come punch you or something, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, if they added something like that, I feel like this Ashen Winds update would be a lot better in my book, because like we talked about how it was underwhelming earlier. If they added something like midway through like this, I would like that a lot. On the shield, I'm looking at it now, it's got some like interesting markings on it. I'm not really sure what it means, but I guess we'll find out more later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping. What were you about to say?
I said, yeah, I don't know either.
I'm just hoping whatever, like, what challenge we have to do for this is, I really hope it's not, like, super annoying or hard. Because I've seen stuff in the past where, like, oh, we're giving out this really cool figurehead, but you have to get 300 ruby splash tails or something like that. Like, I don't want to come in the game and fish for days.
Outside of this game, I want to do something normal with my life other than fish for fake fish to get like for a virtual ship. You know what I mean? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, like I don't have the time for that too, with school and trying to produce videos and all that stuff. I don't have time to be spending in the game like that.
You don't know who has time for that?
Who?
Duncan.
Oh.
Duncan has time to fish.
You're right. You're right about that. Alright, that's it for the events. Let's move on to our discussion. Alright, so I mentioned it earlier, but our first discussion question is, what's next for Flameheart? So we've been going through this like storyline, basically starting with the Seabound Soul, where Flameheart gets released and stuff, and then you basically let him go, and he's out on the world with a Heart of Fire. And then after that, we get world events instead of Tall Tales. So we get the Ghost Fleets, and now we're getting the Skeleton Lords. What do you think about the storyline? What are your thoughts and opinions of how it's gone up to so far? What you'd like to see next from it?
I'm kind of confused with it actually, because like they made it an event, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do the Tall Tale. The next part of the Tall Tale, I could only assume like you're either trying to do something to disrupt his plans, or you're sealing him away, or banishing him, or whatever the heck's going to happen. But then you have forever this world event of him. So what's the point of the Tall Tale, like finishing him off, if he's going to be an event in the game from now, unless they plan on ending this event, and this event's only going to last for a short period of time.
Yeah, That's something I've been thinking of too. Like they could keep the ghost ships since they sell them from the Order of Souls now. But what about these Ashen Lords? Their main purpose is to serve Flameheart. Are they just gonna get rid of them if we defeat Flameheart, or is this just gonna be like something where Flameheart then just goes on forever and we never get any satisfactory end to it?
Yeah, because like the whole, and to me, like if the eventual end of him would be in the tall tale, where like we finish him, or he, gets whatever happens to him, and he's no longer with us. You know what I mean? Like he's still going to be a part of that world event. So because his head just kind of hangs up there, and he's just like talking crap to you the whole time while you're trying to fight him. But like once you beat his tall tale, like what happens to that event then? Like, how are they going to say, oh, this fleet's over here to do this, or are they just going to keep him there for the whole time? To me, that doesn't make sense, because like it's going against the tall tale. So like, if he's gone, how can he be sitting there telling all these ships what to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think they could get rid of the Flameheart event, but to keep the ghost ships, they'd have to get rid of the Ashen Lords because that wouldn't make sense. I think what for me would be satisfying is say no more Flameheart world events after this, and we just have another tall tale where maybe say these Ashen Lords are trying to reincarnate him like into a physical body maybe, so he can take over Sea of Thieves or whatever, and then we have to like stop his plan. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. Like they're going in the trend of the Ashen tall tale, but I would have assumed these events would have been in a tall tale versus an actual event going on in the world.
Yeah. I don't know, it's a little weird. I do like a continued storyline. I don't think I would enjoy it as much if it was just like, oh, we put a new enemy in there. There's no story to it. It's just there now.
Yeah, it does. It's just, to me, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd like them to like kind of clean up. Maybe we move on from Flameheart because I feel like I haven't even been seeing Flameheart that long. Like, because you and me got back into the game around April. Heart of Fire was already out, and we were about to get the Ghost Fleets. And I just kind of feel tired of seeing Flameheart, hearing about Flameheart. I want like a new big bad if we're gonna look at it like a superhero type of genre type thing where we have like a big bad of the movie kind of.
And see, that's where like I feel like these sales coming into play might be, because maybe they are introducing a new faction or a new enemy.
Oh, you mean the figurehead?
Yeah, the figurehead, like, because you were talking about the bird with the shield or whatever.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something they're going to be introducing, where it's like, some kind of naval power that's going to come into play, whether it's a faction or a new encounter, and maybe you have to fight, NPCs that are other than skeletons,
Yeah, it'd be really cool if like maybe they added player bots into the game and they sailed on these like maybe like a man of war. So you just have like an 8-person or 10-person bot ship sailing the seas, and it'd be like a really big encounter rather than like the skelly ships that we already have.
Yeah, I'd be cool with that. That sounds like it would actually be pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I pretty much got on that. Because to me, like some of these updates just don't make any sense. They don't add really anything for me in particular. So
yeah, I'm honestly just getting tired of the whole just endless slashing with a sword for 2 hours trying to kill a boss.
Kill a boss that just doesn't want to die.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is, I know you don't really follow too much with the whole Xbox, PlayStation debate type of thing, but since Sea of Thieves is a first-party game for Xbox Series X coming out in the holiday time, and it's already been confirmed that there's going to be upgrades for the game, and during the game showcase that Microsoft recently had, they showed games like Ori was getting like upgrades for 120 frames per second and other things like that. But they said they wouldn't announce what the ones for Sea of Thieves were going to be yet. So that makes me think it's like something bigger. Rather than just like say, oh, we're bumping up the frame rates. Because if it was just going to be that, why wouldn't you just announce it? It's not that big of a deal. I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow much with that, so I can't really comment on that too much. So I'll leave your opinion as is because I'm a I'm a PC guy. Um, I don't play Xbox or any of that stuff, so none of that really means all that much to me.
Well, we
But
both play on PC, but what happens on Xbox does benefit us on PC because, and what I was about to say was, I'm hoping since it might be a bigger upgrade than we're led to believe, maybe they're going to be say like we're increasing server capacity. That will benefit everybody. Maybe something in the Xbox Series X can allow that. I don't know.
well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see then, because I'd be okay with having more people in the lobby because sometimes they're pretty scarce.
Yeah, we could be searching for an hour and find no one. It's very annoying. All right, so lastly, each week, every other week, we're going to be playing a clip of a week. And this week, we have one from our own channel, and it's going to be Skelly Ships. So, are you ready to watch? Travis?
Yes.
All right.
Uh,
Alright, I'm playing. I'm watching.
Reaper cannons. No. Turn us away. Turn us away.
Man,
This is a fleet
this
battle.
was so crazy when we saw it, though.
Yeah, I got
I
yelled
see
at.
it. It's that
Yeah,
giant
you got-
little ship out in the sky.
Because I don't pay attention to the stupid cloud ship, and I always drive right into these things all the time.
And I just
then,
look
like,
back.
everybody yelled at.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I just look back. It flies out of the air and lands on top of us.
Bitches.
And then I tried to board, but it didn't really. Well, I got on. I was hoping they'd have a keg on them or something that I could just blow up.
Yeah, because I remember when I was sitting, because I was on the wheel and I turned around and saw it, and I was just waiting for it to like come up next to us or like right off to the side, and then it just came up out of nowhere, and all I could think
Might
was
be on
like,
their
oh shit.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But it was, yeah, it was neat.
Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to put a like down below and subscribe. Check us out on Twitch, streaming every Tuesdays and Thursdays. You want to plug anything, Travis?
Adios.
Later, y'all.